Law 217. He may release his brother's widow. Deuteronomy chapter 25 verses 7 to 10. 25 to 7. And if the man like not to take his brother's wife, then let his brother's wife go up to the gate unto the elders, and say, My husband's brother refuseth to raise up unto his brother a name in Israel, he will not perform the duty of my husband's brother. 25 to 8. Then the elders of his city shall call him, and speak unto him, and if he stand to it, and say, I like not to take her. 25 to 9. Then shall his brother's wife come unto him in the presence of the elders, and loose his shoe from off his foot, and spit in his face, and shall answer and say, So shall it be done unto that man that will not build up his brother's house. 25 to 10. And his name shall be called in Israel, the house of him that hath his shoe loosed. Law 218. A man who violates a virgin must pay the bride price, marry her if the father permits, and may never divorce. Deuteronomy chapter 22 verse 29. Then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife. Because he hath humbled her, he may not put her away all his days. Law 219. The priest must judge in case of premarital promiscuity. Deuteronomy chapter 22 verses 13 to 15. 22:13. If any man take a wife, and go in unto her, and hate her. 22:14. And give occasions of speech against her, and bring up an evil name upon her, and say, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid. 22:15. Then shall the father of the damsel, and her mother, take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city in the gate. Law 220. A woman's father may only refuse to give his daughter to a man even though he pays the bride price. Exodus chapter 22 verses 16 to 17. 22:16. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed, and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife. 22:17. If her father utterly refuse to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins. Law 221. The female captive must be treated in accordance with special regulations concerning repentance and conversion. Deuteronomy chapter 21 verses 11 to 14. 21:11. And seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and hast a desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife. 21:12. Then thou shalt bring her home to thine house, and she shall shave her head, and pare her nails. 21:13. And she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in thine house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month. And after that thou shalt go in unto her, and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife. 21:14. And it shall be, if thou have no delight in her, then thou shalt let her go whither she will. But thou shalt not sell her at all for money. Thou shalt not make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her. Law 222. Divorce can only be for the case of premarital fornication by the bride. Deuteronomy chapter 24 verses 1 to 2. 24:1. When a man hath taken a wife, and married her, and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he hath found some uncleanness in her, then let him write her a bill of divorcement, and give it in her hand, and send her out of his house. 24:2. And when she is departed out of his house, she may go and be another man's wife. Law 223. A woman suspected of adultery must submit to the required test. Numbers chapter 5 verses 12 to 15. 5:12. Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, If any man's wife go aside, and commit a trespass against him. 5:13. And a man lie with her carnally, and it be hid from the eyes of her husband, and be kept close, and she be defiled, and there be no witness against her, neither she be taken with the manner. 5:14. And the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be defiled. Or if the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be not defiled. 5:15. Then shall the man bring his wife unto the priest, and he shall bring her offering for her, the 10th part of an ephah of barley meal. He shall pour no oil upon it, nor put frankincense thereon. For it is an offering of jealousy, an offering of memorial, bringing iniquity to remembrance. Law 224. When required by law, the judges must administer the appropriate punishment. Deuteronomy chapter 25 verses 2 to 3. 25-2, and it shall be, if the wicked man be worthy to be beaten, that the judge shall cause him to lie down, and to be beaten before his face, according to his fault, by a certain number. 25-3, 40 stripes he may give him, and not exceed, lest, if he should exceed, and beat him above these with many stripes, then thy brother should seem vile unto thee. Law 225. The law concerning unintentional homicide. Numbers chapter 35 verses 22 to 25. 35 to 22. But if he thrust him suddenly without enmity, or have cast upon him anything without laying of weight. 35 to 23. Or with any stone, wherewith a man may die, seeing him not, and cast it upon him, that he die, and was not his enemy, neither sought his harm. 35 to 24. Then the congregation shall judge between the slayer and the revenger of blood according to these judgments. 35 to 25. And the congregation shall deliver the slayer out of the hand of the revenger of blood, and the congregation shall restore him to the city of his refuge, whither he was fled, and he shall abide in it unto the death of the high priest, which was anointed with the holy oil. Law 226. The law concerning murder. Deuteronomy chapter 19 verses 11 to 13. 19:11. But if any man hate his neighbor, and lie in wait for him, and rise up against him, and smite him mortally that he die, and fleeth into one of these cities. 19:12. Then the elders of his city shall send and fetch him thence, and deliver him into the hand of the avenger of blood, that he may die. 19:13. Thine eye shall not pity him, but thou shalt put away the guilt of innocent blood from Israel, that it may go well with thee. Law 227. Numbers chapter 15 verses 15 to 16. 15:15. One ordinance shall be both for you of the congregation, and also for the stranger that sojourneth with you, an ordinance forever in your generations. As ye are, so shall the stranger be before the Lord. 15:16. One law and one manner shall be for you, and for the stranger that sojourneth with you. Law 228. One who sins or breaks any of Yahweh's laws, whether unintentionally or intentionally, is guilty. Leviticus chapter 5 verse 17, Numbers chapter 15 verse 30. 5:17. And if a soul sin and commit any of these things which are forbidden to be done by the commandments of the Lord, though he wist it not, yet is he guilty, and shall bear his iniquity. 15:30. But the soul that doth aught presumptuously, whether he be born in the land, or a stranger, the same reproacheth the Lord, and that soul shall be cut off from among his people.
I hope you enjoyed, brothers and sisters. I hope you have a happy Sabbath. Remember, put the Most High first. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Always much love, and all praises to the Most High.